Hi everyone, welcome to our channel B2C, Beginner to Champion for Competitive Exams. In this video, we are going to discuss some questions from the Quantitative Aptitude section of SSC CHSL 2019 Tier 1. We are going to discuss the questions from the first 3 days of the exam that were conducted on October 12th to October 14th. Okay, so let's start. Here is our first question. Subsequent discounts of 20% and X% is equivalent to single discount of 24%. Find X. This is a question. We have a very simple formula to find the total discount when two subsequent discounts are given. Okay, this is important. This formula is applicable for two subsequent discounts. The formula is like this. The total discount is equal to x plus y minus xy by 100. So here x and y are the discounts. So we can substitute the information from the question in this formula and easily find out the answer. So this is a pretty direct application of this formula. So we have been given the total discount, it is 24%. So we'll write 24 is equal to 20 plus x minus 20x by 100. So we can cancel 20 and 100 here. Then we get 24 is equal to 20 plus x minus x by 5. Okay. On simplification, we'll get 24 into 5 is equal to 100 plus 5x minus x. Okay, I hope you understood how we got that step. Then 120 is equal to 100 plus 4x. So this gives us that 4x is equal to 20 and x is equal to 5%. This is the answer to this question. So remember this formula to calculate the total discount when two subsequent discounts are given. The total discount is equal to x plus y minus xy by 100. Okay, so let's go to the next question. If x plus y equal to 14 and x cube plus y cube equal to 1064, find x square minus y square. So this is a question from algebra. Actually, this is very easy. You don't have to remember any of the formulas or the identities to solve this question. What we'll do here is, we'll substitute some values for x and y and try to find out the answer. Okay, so we have to find two values for x and y such that x plus y equal to 14 and x cube plus y cube equal to 1064. Now suppose that I am taking the value of x to be 10 and the value of y to be 4. Okay, then x plus y equal to 14, this condition is satisfied. Then x cube plus y cube, I'll get 10 cube plus 4 cube, which is 1000 plus 64, which is equal to 1064. So we have two values for x and y which are meeting the conditions given in the question. Then substitute the values x is equal to 10 and y equal to 4 in our given equation x square minus y square. We'll get 100 minus 16, which is 84. This is the answer to this question. We did not use identity, we did not use any formula to solve this. Just by simple substitution of values for x and y, we can directly find the answer to this question. Okay, so we have observed that similar kind of questions have been repeatedly asked in SSC CHSL exam. So here we have an additional question for you to practice and find out the answer. Okay, let's go to the next question. If tan raised to 4a minus tan square a equal to 1, find sin raised to 4a plus sin square a. So this is a question from trigonometry. There are many methods to solve this question. We'll try to use a simple one which is less time consuming. Okay. So we'll take the information we have, tan raised to 4a minus tan square a equal to 1. Now I'm going to take tan square a to the right hand side. So tan raised to 4a will be equal to 1 plus tan square a, and we have the identity 1 plus tan square a equal to sec square a, right? So tan raised to 4a is equal to sec square a. Now let's rewrite LHS and RHS in terms of sine and cos. So in the numerator of LHS we have sine raised to 4a, denominator cos raised to 4a equal to 1 by cos square a. Okay, now I am going to cancel out cos square a, and from cos raised to 4a will get cos square a. So sine raised to 4a is equal to cos square a. Okay, now let's look at what we have to find out. We need sine raised to 4a plus sine squared a, right? And we know that sine raised to 4a is cos square a. So I'm going to write cos square a in the place of sine raised to 4a. And we have sine square a here. So our equation reduces to cos square a plus sine square a. And we have the identity cos square a plus sine square a equal to 1. This is the answer to this question. Okay, let's go to the next question. If sin x minus cos x equal to 7 by 17, find sin x plus cos x. Okay, this is a question. Now this is very simple here. So we know the trigonometric ratio sin x is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. Okay, and cos x is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. So if we write sin x minus cos x, then definitely whatever number is in the denominator will be the hypotenuse. So from this equation sin x minus cos x equal to 7 by 17, we can conclude that the hypotenuse is equal to 17. Okay, now the only triplet involving 17 is 15, 8 and 17. Okay, the only Pythagorean triplet where one of the members is 17 is 15, 8 and 17. Okay, now if we take sin x to be 15 by 17 and cos x to be 8 by 17, the first condition that sin x minus cos x equal to 7 by 17 is satisfied. Okay, then automatically we can find sin x plus cos x. What will be sin x plus cos x? 15 by 17 plus 8 by 17, which is 23 by 17. This is the answer to this question. Okay, let's go to the next one. If sin x plus cosec x equal to 2, find the value of sin raised to 18x plus cosec raised to 18x. Okay, this is a question. So what is the given condition? Sin x plus cosec x equal to 2. And we have to find sin raised to 18x plus cosec raised to 18x. For that, first let's rewrite cosec in terms of sine. Okay, so we'll get sin x plus 1 by sin x equal to 2. Now this is in the form x plus 1 by x equal to 2. Okay, so when we have such a situation here, we have to remember two things. The default value of x will always be 1. Okay, this is the first point. And the second point is x raised to n plus 1 by x raised to n will also be equal to 2. Okay, These are the 2 points you have to remember. When x plus 1 by x is equal to 2, the default value of x is 1 and x raised to n plus 1 by x raised to n equal to 2. So here we have sin x in place of x. Okay, sin x plus 1 by sin x is equal to 2. Then from here itself we can write that sin raised to 18x plus 1 by sin raised to 18x will also be equal to 2 using this formula. Okay, we have n equal to 18. So this implies that sin raised to 18x plus cosec raised to 18x is also equal to 2. This question is very simple, and using this logic we can find the answer in seconds. Okay, let's go to the next question. If x is equal to 255, y is equal to 256, z is equal to 257, find the value of x cube plus y cube plus z cube minus 3xyz. So this is a question from algebra and we have to use the identity to solve this question. But this question is a special case because the numbers x, y and z are consecutive numbers. Okay, so when x, y and z are consecutive numbers, this equation that we have to calculate here, this will be equal to three into x plus y plus z. Okay, this is a very important point that you have to remember. When we are given three numbers x, y, z and they are consecutive, the value of x cube plus y cube plus z cube minus 3xyz is equal to 3 into x plus y plus z. Okay, now what do we have to do here? We have to first find the sum of the three numbers, okay, and then multiply it by 3. So we have to find 3 into 255 plus 256 plus 257. So the sum of these three numbers is 768. Okay, and the final answer to our question is 2304. This is the answer to this question. Okay, so the point to remember here is that when x, y, z are consecutive, x cube plus y cube plus z cube minus 3xyz is equal to 3 into x plus y plus z. Okay, let's go to the next question. When 77 raised to 77 plus 77 is divided by 78, what is the remainder? Okay, so the question is to calculate the remainder when 77 raised to 77 plus 77 is divided by 78. So let's split the terms. We have 77 raised to 77 by 78 plus 77 by 78. So the remainder of this term is 77. Okay, so let's keep that aside. Now we have to calculate the remainder of this term. For that we have a very simple formula. When a raised to n is divided by a plus 1, okay, the remainder is 1 when n is even and it is a or minus 1 when n is odd. So here n is equal to 77, so which is odd. So the remainder of 77 raised to 77 by 78 is either 77 or minus 1. We have two possibilities, but the truth is, no matter whichever possibility we take, we will arrive at the same answer in the end. Okay? So suppose I consider the first possibility that the remainder is equal to 77. Okay? Then we have another 77 over here. So the total remainder would be 77 plus 77, which is equal to 154. Now this 154 can be divided by 78. Then the remainder is 76. So this is possibility number 1. Now what happens if I take the remainder is equal to minus 1? Okay, then the total remainder would be minus 1 plus 77, which is again 76. So no matter whichever possibility you take, you will arrive at the same answer. It is advisable to take minus 1 so that you can reduce the number of steps here. Okay, so this is the logic. When a raised to n is divided by a plus 1, the remainder is 1 when n is even, and it is a or minus 1 when n is odd. So the answer to this question is 76. Okay, let's go to the next one. If x plus 1 by x is equal to 8, find 5x by x square plus 1 minus 6x. Okay, we have 5x by x square plus 1 minus 6x. So what I am going to do is, I am going to divide both numerator and denominator by x. Okay, so 5x by x divided by x square plus 1 minus 6x divided by x. So this is equal to 5 by x square by x is x plus 1 by x minus 6. Okay, now x plus 1 by x is 8. So we'll substitute that value here. So we have 5 by 8 minus 6, which is 5 by 2, which is equal to 2.5. This is the answer to this question. Okay, so we take the equation here, divide both numerator and denominator by x, and after cancelling, we can substitute the value x plus 1 by x is equal to 8 and then directly find the answer. Okay, this is very simple. You can do it in seconds using this logic. Now let's go to the next question. The cost price of 15 pence is equal to the selling price of 20 pence. Find the profit percent or loss percent. So we are given that the cost price of 15 pence is equal to the selling price of 20 pence. So let the cost price of 1 pen be CP and the selling price of 1 pen be SP. Okay, now the cost price of 15 equal to selling price of 20. So CP into 15 is equal to SP into 20. Okay, then we get CP by SP equal to 20 by 15, which is 4 by 3. Now since we are going to find the percentage, we can consider that cost price is 4 and selling price is 3. Since the cost price is greater than selling price, the seller is experiencing a loss here. So loss is equal to 4 minus 3, which is 1. And how do we find loss percentage? Loss percentage is equal to loss by CP into 100, which is equal to 1 by 4 into 100, which is 25%. So the seller is experiencing a loss percent of 25. Okay, to solve this question, so the seller is experiencing a loss of 25%. This is the answer to this question. Let's go to the next one. Find CK into 1 minus sin A into CK plus tan A. So this question is very simple. We can start to solve this by multiplying sec A into 1 minus sin A. So we'll get sec A minus sec A sin A into sec A plus tan A. From here we get Ek minus 1 by cos A into sin A. So I rewrote sec A as 1 by cos A. Okay, that is the change I made here. Now we get sin A by cos A, which is tan A. So we can make that change in the next step. Sec A minus tan A into sec A plus tan A. Now this is of the form A minus B into A plus B. This is A square minus B square. So our next step is sec square A minus tan square A, which is equal to 1. So this question is actually very easy. We can use identity to solve this question. So we have observed that there are many questions in CHSL exam that you can solve using identities. But most of them are not direct application of identities. You have to make some changes and then bring the question into the form of identities so that you can solve it easily. Okay? Let's go to the next one. The radii of two concentric circles are 13 cm and 5 cm respectively. Find the length of the chord which is tangent to the smaller circle. Okay, to solve this question, let's try to make a diagram for the information that is given to us. So first of all, we have two concentric circles. Let's take two concentric circles over here. And now we need to find the length of the chord which is tangent to the smaller circle. So a chord inside the bigger circle which is a tangent to the smaller circle. So that will look something like this. So we have to find the length of this line. Okay. Now we are given the radii of the two circles. So let's take the radius of the smaller circle here and the radius of the bigger circle here. Okay. Now let's name these points. I'm going to take the center as O. We'll call this point A. We'll call this point B. And we'll call this point C. So we have to find the length of AC. And it is given that the smaller circle has radius 5 cm. So OB is 5. Okay. And the bigger circle has radius 13 cm. So OA is 13. Okay, this is the information we have. So here we have to remember two important properties. One property is the radius and tangent at a point are perpendicular to each other. Okay, so if you take a circle, the radius of the circle and the tangent of the circle, they will be perpendicular at the point of contact. So this simply means that angle B is 90 degree. Okay, that is OB will be perpendicular to AC. This is one property. Okay. Now the second property is, in the bigger circle, AC is a chord, right? So a line drawn from the center of the circle to the chord such that the line is perpendicular to the chord, it will bisect the chord. Okay. So OB bisects AC. Alright, these are the two important properties to remember here. Now, let's take a look at triangle OBA. Okay, it is a right angle triangle. The value of the hypotenuse is 13 and one side is 5. So which is a Pythagorean triplet that involves hypotenuse 13 and one side 5? It is 13, 5, 12. Right? So from here we can conclude that AB is equal to 12. Okay, 12 centimeter. So if AB is equal to 12 and OB bisects AC, then BC will be equal to AB, right? So BC also will be 12 centimeter. So this implies that the chord AC, which is a tangent to the smaller circle, is equal to 12 plus 12, 24 centimeter in length. This is the answer to this question. Okay, now let's go to the next one. If cos A, sin A and cot A are in GP, find the value of tan raised to 6A minus tan square A. Okay, so to solve this question, we have to remember the property of three numbers that are in GP. So if we have three numbers A, B and C which are in GP, then we have the relation B square is equal to A into C. Okay, B square equal to AC. This is a property we are going to use to solve this question. So we have been given that cos A, sin A and cot A are in GP. So the middle term is sin A. So using this relation we have sin square A is equal to cot A into cos A. Okay, now I'm going to rewrite cot in terms of sin and cos. So we get sin square A is equal to cos A by sin A into cos A. So this implies that sin square A is equal to cos square A by sin A. From here we get sin cube A is equal to cos square A. Now I am going to divide both LHS and RHS of this equation. Sin cube A is equal to cos square A by cos cube A. Okay, now we can cancel out cos square A and this cube over here. So we get 1 by cos A, which is sec A. Okay, and now the LHS becomes tan cube A, because sin cube A by cos cube A is tan cube A. Tan cube A is equal to sec A. This implies that tan raised to 6A will be equal to sec square A. Now we are going to substitute the value of tan raised to 6A in this equation, of which we have to find the value. So tan raised to 6A minus tan square A becomes sec square A minus tan square A, which is equal to 1. And this is the answer to this question. All the questions that we discussed in this video today were based on the information that were provided to us by candidates who attended the exam on October 12th, 13th and 14th. So if you are a candidate who is going to attend SSC CHSL Tier 1 exam 2019 in the coming days, these are the kind of questions you can expect in quantitative aptitude for your exam. Team B2C wishes you all the very best. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and share. Subscribe to this channel to receive expert tips and guidance for clearing various placement exams, and press the bell icon to receive instant notifications.